concretamente a un Infoday en el marco de un programa que es el programa COSME, que es el programa CirCoAX, que lo que pretende, hoy vamos a hacer, vamos a aprovechar esta jornada para contar unas ayudas para fomentar la economía circular en el textil. Antes de dar la palabra para la inauguración formal, darles dos aspectos que nos enlazan con el anterior bloque, que era de turismo. En primer lugar, hay un problema que esto en todo el textil que se utilizan plásticos, hay microplásticos que terminan en las lavadoras, en las lavanderías también del sector hotelero, que ese es un reto, que eso se está trabajando para que esos microplásticos no lleguen al mar. Eso también tiene que ver con CirCoAX, que lo que busca es economía circular en el sector de la moda, ropa y textil. Y un aspecto que es otro reto es qué pasa con todo el residuo textil, economía circular, colchones, sábanas, que incluso están en leasing. Bueno, ese es un gran reto que estamos trabajando para ver cómo afrontar el reto del textil en el sector hotelero. Ahí tenemos el proyecto Next Textile Generation. Y sin más, vamos a entrar en CirCoAX. I think I should talk in English, Adrián, if not, because we have some partners from all over Europe. CirCoAX is a very interesting project in the field of that tries to improve, is from the COSME program, Cooperation for Small and Medium Enterprises from the DG Growth. And what pretends CirCoAX is one of the 4 pilot projects financed to help in the circular economy, in the fashion. Because did you know that just 1% of the waste from the fashion is recycled? What we are trying to identify is new initiatives, small and medium enterprises, future entrepreneurs, people from the university or the academia that have eco-design in the fashion sector, that has new ideas to recycle, to reuse, and also in the field of social innovation. How we can create mini jobs or new enterprises with this waste from the old style. My name is Juan Revuelta. I'm the CEO from Fundación Finnova in Brussels, and we are very proud to be one of the members of this consortium that is led from the Institute of Europe of Design. And I would like to give the floor to Mr. José Francisco García as project leader. And you have the word, and thank you very much for the effort to be with us in July, at the end of July, in this with this warm time. In Spain, a lot of people is now in the siesta, but anyway, Juan Francisco, what I would like to highlight is this opportunity. Live, we are all the day with different areas, tourism, agriculture, etc. Because of this launching from the European Union, Live for this period, just to have the context, we are talking of 5,300 million euros for innovative pilot projects in circular economy, what is the same purpose. And before offering the word and to have the perspective, what we try today is to, and after our colleagues will explain exactly how to apply for that 12,000 euros for each project. We are looking for 30 talent initiatives in that field, but not only 12,000 euros, that is not a lot of money. It helps, but it's not a lot. What we pretend also is to offer different mentor sessions and personalized mentors for these 30 companies. Allow to me, why not we can try to transform part of these ideas into a live project of 2 million euros. And we have here different potential partners, and European Commission is offering us that. Then you have the floor, Mr. Garcia, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Juan Manuel. It's a great idea. And it's end of July for every one of us. So thank you all for this meeting and this interest. I am Jose Francisco Garcia. I'm the director of IED Innovation Lab, the Innovation Lab of IED, the Instituto Europeo of Design. And for IED, it's a pleasure, of course, but it's also a responsibility to lead this consortium with very important partners, because the IED is a design school. It's a school of design of Italian origin, but it is also an organization that wants to add value, to explore and to participate in the great transformations of our time. And that's is why this CircularInnoBooster and the CirCoAX platform is a very interesting project for us, because it is one more step in the search or in the exploration of solutions to the environment and sustainability challenges of the 21st century. And fashion is the core business of IED, but fashion is also an essential part of design, and it's a sector that needs new, innovative, fresh, and regenerative ideas. This project tries to find them, and that's why it's so important to us, to IED, because IED is an international design school, and we have the vision and the focus in a new education, in a new way of life for the new generations and the young people. Thank you for everything. 12,000 euros is not much money, but it depends. It depends the solution. It depends the possibilities of this 12,000 euros, and it depends the idea when you invest this money. We hope to have many great ideas to support our CirCoAX, and congratulations everyone, and thank you, Juan Manuel.
Thank you very much, Mr. Garcia. And before the importance of this day is because of that, the closing session is CirCoAX, and we are here from 9 o'clock in the morning with this networking session in live, because for us it's quite important. Just you were talking about just that 12,000 euros. It depends. If we consider that money smart money, why not to try to transform with a talent acceleration program, with that mentoring into real life? And believe me, for that, startups that are listening to us, it's not impossible to try to obtain a live project of 2 million euros in the circular economy. We have time enough, deadline 30 of November. We have here different international partners like the Institute, like others. We can look for corporates, and we can look for also public entities that are really worried about the waste from the fashion. It's because of that we are here today in Malaga. In Malaga, we are in the framework of the Green Cities. Green Cities will be in 29th and 30th of September, 2 months before the deadline of life. And one of the waste that has to be managed in the cities is the fashion waste. Okay. What we consider waste, we could obtain new materials or new use or reuse or whatever. Is what we are looking for, and it's because of that we are starting this second info day of CirCoAX for this open call that we launched the last week. and we don't want to that holidays stop us. What we require, and we are asking all of you, if you know someone that has good ideas, please feel free to come to us. And before explaining the concrete details, I would like to open the institutional block with Mr. Luca Marmo from the General Direction of Environment, Sustainable Development Goals, Green Finance and Economic Analysis from the European Commission. And it's a great pleasure, and thank you very much for connecting us, I assume from Brussels. We connect from Malaga to Brussels. And Luca, grazie mille, and the floor is yours to inspire us, to convince our companies and startups to be active, submitting proposal in our open call of CirCoAX. Luca.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, all colleagues connected. In fact, I'm connected from Italy. That's the pleasure of teleworking that allows us to be together while sitting in many different corners of Europe. So I work in the Environment Director General of the European Commission, and I deal with the international dimension of the circular economy. And I was asked by the organizers to say a few words about sustainable textiles and the work that we do in the European Commission, so that those of you who are thinking of applying for a grant in order to develop a project would have some policy pointers. So textiles have been identified as a key sector in the European Green Deal and are one of the sectors tackled in the Circular Economy Action Plan that the Commission adopted back in March 2020. Why this particular interest on textiles? Well, first thing, the textiles is very important to the global economy. In the EU alone, it employs more than 1.5 million people, 160,000 companies, most of which are small and medium enterprises, are involved in the textile value chain in Europe, with a turnover that is estimated at around 160 billion in the year 2019, so before the pandemic disruption hit. So it's very important from an economic viewpoint, very important in terms of the jobs, but the textile sector goes hand in hand with sustainability concerns. It's a resource-intensive sector with important climate and environmental impacts. It's the fourth highest pressure category for the use of primary raw materials and water, and the fifth in terms of greenhouse gas emissions. So it's very important to address the environmental impacts because of the significance in terms of climate change, biodiversity loss, pollution. Concerns include resource use during the production, so in terms of water, in terms of the materials used, in terms of the energy, the emissions of greenhouse gases, of chemicals during the production process. Third aspect of particular interest to be watched out for is the question of microplastics. So textiles, garments made of synthetic materials can generate microplastics that are washed off from textiles. Fourth, and not the last of problems that I think was already mentioned by those who spoke before me, is the issue of waste. It is estimated that a full truck of textile goes to waste every second in the world. So that's a very large amount of resources that are lost. And of course, there are also concerns in terms of the working conditions under which the clothes we wear are made, in terms of the pay, in terms of the safety of workers. This may not be a primary concern in an European context, but the textile value chain is global. So we import materials from and garments from all over the world. And so these aspects, these social aspects are also important to bear in mind. It's a sector that is mainly operates in a linear manner. So we still have this old economy model of extracting resources, using them, and then throwing away at the end of the useful life of a product. So the volumes of textiles products placed on the market is increasing. We see the phenomenon of fast fashion, garments that last for very little time. And so if you use your clothes for a short amount of time and you change them very often, the amount of waste generated is, of course, high. The pandemic has added to the complexity of the textile sector. We have both a drop in production, considerable disruption in textile supply chains. But all this means, in the opinion of the European Commission, that we should work to make the textile sector circular. And this is even more important in recovering back from the pandemic, in addressing also all the waste that the pandemic are generating. So we're not lowering our expectations. Actually, we are working to make sure that most of the possible opportunities that working on textiles would generate are actually seized. This means fulfilling the Green Deal objectives. As I said, building back better also in the textile and fashion sector to ensure that we move to a clean, climate neutral, regenerative economy model. So the application of the circular economy principles will be very important in this context. Circular economy basically means looking at the full production chain and the full life cycle from the material production and extraction, the processing, the production of the garment, the use phase, and then when the use phase ends, bringing back, first of all, maintaining into the economic cycle for as long as possible the textile product, and when its useful life is ended, being able to recycle the material. So we think that the circular economy is a strong approach to transform challenges into opportunities, and we need a systemic transformation. And I think CirCoAX will have a role to play, for example, in designing for longer product lifetimes to increase the repair opportunities. These days, very few of us have the chance of having someone that would be able to, I don't know, attach, to do a little repair to a garment. So that's an aspect that part of the circular economy approach on which we would like to invest. So increase the repair opportunities, recyclability if repair is not possible, boost the market for recycled materials. It's a bit of a similar approach to the one that the Commission has put in place for plastics. The same kind of logic, moving from a linear plastic production and use system to a circular one, the same to textiles and the fashion sector. And we are working, as we've done in the past for plastics, in the preparation of a comprehensive textile strategy that aims to be a coherent framework to support these transformations and to move towards the circularity that we think we need. The textile strategy is currently in preparation and will have the same kind of broad look at aspects linked to all phases of textile production as we have had in the plastic strategy, and we aim at presenting proposals towards the end of this year. So I hope that the actions that CirCoAX will support will contribute to this shift in Europe. And we know that when things get moving in Europe, this has also an influence at the global level. EU 27 member states are basically standard setters for the world. So if we move to have garments that last longer, requirements for repairability, addressing the issue of microplastics, seizing the opportunities of having longer time span for garments, all these would support not only the support not only the European economy and jobs within the EU, but also improve labor condition opportunities across the world. So I thank you for your attention, and I wish you a lot of success, even if the day even if it is fairly late in the day, and I have understood you started at 9 a.m. So I think you have a very good batteries in your equipment, I guess. So thanks a lot.
Is the sustainable energy that offers us the passion of believing in the ODS objectives and in circular economy. What I think is quite interesting how to develop this holistic approach, how there are EU funding like LIFE that can help or the challenges and purpose from CirCoAX. And now we are connecting from Italy, we are connecting with Brussels, the capital of Europe, with Mrs. Rosa Escamilla. This young talent in the heart of Europe in EURADA. EURADA is the European Association of Development Agencies, regional and also municipal. And I want to ask to you, Rosa, please help us to disseminate this challenge, this open call for identifying the best companies with the best ideas in circular economy in fashion, but also the social innovation ideas in fashion. We have been in other webinars with Argentina. They are doing really good in Buenos Aires for that social inclusion. Anyway, Rosa, if I may, she comes from the region of Valencia, one of the regions that in a traditional that in the traditional industry more important in Spain, in the textile sector. After this Catalonia, we have something in Murcia, and we have, of course, Galicia, all the Grupo Zara. That means in Spain, all what is textile and fashion, also all what is food around food and fashion is quite important. Rosa, you have the floor. You are a fashion.
Thank you very much.
Fashion expert in Brussels.
Well, thank you very much for the invitation. It's a real pleasure to be here today with you to share our vision about entrepreneurship and sustainable development. And well, I've been already introduced. I'm working as Interreg project partner in EURADA, and I'm also involved in some circular economy projects. such as UECO, that is, well, I will lately explain what's exactly about, but I will start by explaining in a few words, well, what's exactly URADA. URADA was established in the year 1992 to help regional economic development experts to share experiences. Well, public administration everywhere leads and of course supports economic growth, but constant innovations and changes taking place in the private sector are very fast, and it is necessary to share the experiences. That's why the main idea of URADA was and is to support policy learning in regional development agencies. I'm going to share my screen because I have a presentation. Perfect. So I'm going.
Adelante, se ve perfecto.
My screen?
Yes, go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So, well, that's some data about URADA, our members. So what we want to talk today about the action of URADA with regional development agencies in sustainable development. But before, what's exactly a regional development agency? Well, it is an operational structure created by local or regional public entities to effectively support SMEs in their competitiveness in specific territories. So a development agency identifies development problems, choose a range of opportunities for their solution, and promote projects that can maximize solutions. So, well, in URADA, today, on behalf of URADA, we want to underline the new political and strategic position of the UE with regard to the sustainable development and the importance of this major axis that will orient all the policies towards 2030 and of course 2050. It's our huge aim. So we want to highlight today the Green Deal and of course within the action plan for a circular economy approved last year, which has determined the budgetary policy for the next period 2021-2027 of operational programs and of the thematic objectives and priorities for all the regions, because all the regions are going to be affected. So while in the last period there were 11 major thematic objectives, now we have to focus on the 5 major objectives in the regional policy to promote sustainable growth. So all of them are focused on what we are going to talk about today and in the next years, about circular economy, energy transition, risk management, and climate change adaptation. So to these 5 main objectives that are going to condition all the local, regional, and national governments, we also we must add the recovery and resilience funds next generations, which have shown that a sustainable and decarbonized growth must be positivized. And we have to generate new opportunities through green entrepreneurship for startups and through European Union projects. So we rather with all of the development agencies, we are prioritizing these objectives, we are prioritizing the green growth. And today we want to encourage all companies, agencies, people to coordinate and structure themselves to apply for all these new green and circular initiatives that from now on will come to light from the European Union. So briefly, I would like to explain 3 projects, super briefly, or
now briefly, Rosa, because we are out of time.
Okay, so I will then share the link from UECO because we are going to finish now this project in September, and it's about circular economy for promoting entrepreneurship and self-employment. So we've been working in different useful documents that are available for every company and every entrepreneur that wants to start working on circular economy on their companies. So this is one of the projects, and in November we are going to start 2 new projects, Friendship and Agro2 Circular. Both are about circular economy, And one of them is focused on the relevant residues in the agri-food sector, fruits, vegetables, and plastic multi-layers. And the other aims to create a territorial cluster of circular initiatives to accelerate the transition to a more green and resilient economy. And well, for now, that's my presentation. And thank you very much another time for the invitation. And if you have any doubts, I'm here. Thank you very much.
What we want from you is the compromise you are going to disseminate. You are going to help us to disseminate the open call in all your European network, in that agencies, to identify the best companies for this open call. Then please try to help in also your social networks and to retweet. And thank you very much, Rosa, because of your help. And now we are a little bit out of the time, but I will be very brief from our part. I wanted just to put in perspective the importance of next generation. What we are now, as you know, this is the financial period 2021-2027 that will end the execution of the budget up to 2030 with the more resources available in all the history. Up to now, the biggest recovery plan was the Marshall Plan, and this next generation plan is 12 times in terms of GDP, all that funding. But we have to take this opportunity in consideration. It's because of that we think that perhaps CirCoAX and other projects from COSME should inspire us. Why not in projects under next generation? Anyway, what we have tried today with the skills of life is to offer the different synergies of the different programs, because with CirCoAX, of course, we are going to inform and to do our commitments in CirCoAX. But what we would like is to, at the end of the day, in 1 year time, in 2 years time, to offer and to understand that some new project life has been approved, inspired in the networking that we are doing today. Today, we are around 60 participants. We have international organizations, non-profit as Eurada. We have the Institute of Design. We will have after parallel project finance and approved in the same project that is called Fashion for Change from Gun Erkor, and managers from S4 Fashion. We think we have partners enough for multidisciplinary pilot projects in the framework of life. And I'm going to offer the floor to the Director of Innovation and Small and Medium Enterprise Internationalization in Finnova, Mr. Adrián Noeda. For all the young talent that are following us at the moment, just to explain that Adrián, some years ago, he was one of our trainees in Brussels. And Brussels is a very good place where to learn, as Rosa is doing at the moment, because Europe needs new managers that understand the legislation, the funding, and this management. Adrián, you have the floor.
Hi, thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to speak a little bit about these great opportunities for the SMEs in textile and fashion industry. I'm going to share my screen just a moment. Okay, I'm not. A few minutes later, my colleagues Sami and Saram will explain the CirCoAX open call and all the details of how to apply. So I'm going to just go directly to the complementary opportunities that it will offer the this initiative, the Next Generation initiative. Of course, the companies that are selected for the CirCoAX program will receive support, financial support, and also business services, mentoring, workshops, etc. So one of the mentorships that they will receive from us, from Finnova, it's mentorship in EU funds. So you will be able to get mentorship from us to apply to EU funds such as the LIFE program, AC Accelerator, and so on. So thank you to CirCoAX, not only receive 2,000 euros, but to try to apply to European project in order to increase the chances of your startup. And one of the initiatives that it's included in the CircularInnoBooster in this project is the Fashion and Textile Circular Startup Awards. From all the selected companies, there will be 5. The top 5 SMEs will be selected will be nominated for the Fashion and Textile SEWA. And SEWA is an initiative with the European Commission that Finnova works together with European Commission, with the DG Connect, and in collaboration with the Startup Europe since 2016. It's like an Eurovision for startups. So each company from each category will participate, and there will be a final event in each category. And thank you to CirCoAX, there will be a specific category in fashion and textile. So the winners in this category will get, for example, visibility. They will be able to travel to the final and to get visibility and to be in Brussels with all the institutions. Also, they will be part of a mentoring program in Brussels or virtual if it's not allowed to travel yet. And we will try to help their project to be part of an European bigger project. And I also want to take this opportunity to mention some EU opportunities for the SME in textile and fashion. For example, in the LIFE program that has been recently launched, and you will have the opportunity to apply until November 13. So at the end of November, you have this opportunity in which you could apply to projects between 500,000 to 2 or 3 million euros. And with a co-funding on 60% to 95% of co-funding from the European Commission. And it is open to all kinds of innovation in environment, since energy, nature, biodiversity, and there is a specific line, a specific priority in circular economy, and it is another priority objective within this priority of the separate collection and recycling of textiles. So it is open to all the companies, all the innovations that have something related to separation and to recycling textiles. They could be able to apply to this call and not only receive 2,000 euros from CirCoAX, but try to increase this chance for the company and to become a live project together with the CirCoAX team. Okay, so any company that are interested in applying and that will apply to CirCoAX, just to know that you could contact us, and we will be more than happy to inform you about these opportunities and other opportunities that could be of interest for you. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Adrian. And now we are going to the project. The most important today is info day about this open call. It's the second open call. There will be another one in September. And now we are going to connect with Madrid and with Paloma Garcia. She's the CEO of the Circular Project. And thank you very much for adapting to these times in the afternoon in July. Paloma, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Juanma. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Just a brief. I'm the founder of the Circular Project, an integral sustainable fashion project that is going beyond the simple act of marketing fashion. As well, I'm the president of the Spanish Association of Sustainability, Innovation and Circularity in Fashion, and the director of Circular Sustainable Fashion Week Madrid. There we are showing an inclusive, eclectic and creative way that another more conscious and sustainable way of dressing is possible and guarantees for the first time a zero emissions catwalk. The Circular Project in October of 2018 received the Best Practice Award in the Value Chain category, granted by CEPAIN Foundation in collaboration with the Madrid City Council. The Circular Project is the first and unique multi-brand space specialized in sustainable fashion in Madrid, and it was born 7 years ago. Just a baby. It's a disruptive and holistic project around sustainable fashion in order to promote eco-design. We support the creation of brands with a positive impact through active dissemination and training. At the same time that we are giving the designer a space where to show their work. And it's one of the first textile projects audited by the Common Good Economy and also belongs to the Triple Balance Sanas company. Its name, the Circular Project, refers to the circular economy because we are working in order to create an industry that optimizes resources until the production. And the Circular Project was the inspiration and the first promoter of the European project CirCoAX by CircularInnoBooster. And together with Human Nations and Sarah Anjal, that is going to speaking now with Sami, we propose to replicate on an European scale a way of working with all the necessary aspects for the implementation of the circular economy in the textile industry are taken into account and supported. From those who are cultivating the cotton, the line, the silk, whatever that will make our clothes, to those who design or selling clothes, communicating or teaching about the circular economy inside the textile. In all that sectors, the circular economy has to become a reality, but also is necessary a more human way of doing business. CirCoAX wants to support from different fronts everything that needs to be transformed in order to decarbonize our textile industry and at the same time become circular. And the most important, create a more friendly world. This is the aim. Again, thank you very much for your interest, and we are here to help you, all of you, to access this interesting support and change the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paloma, for explaining why at this time, why today, and just to explain you in a context. Yesterday was the official info day about life from the Spanish government, and today is because of that we have organized this networking and synergy day. Why at 5 o'clock in the afternoon? Because is when the European Commission and the officials from the DG Grow, they want the projects at 5 o'clock, and we are very we work with the Commission, and if they say at 5 o'clock, for us it's all right. Now, what I want is to explain that the most important issue today is what we are going to listen now, is this these technical details about this open call that, again, is 12,000 euros for the best companies, but also don't forget about this, the mentor that they are going to receive. And it's not the first time that in our accelerator we have obtained a live project for a startup. And for me, it's a pleasure and an honor now to give the floor to Saram Yalda. Saram Yalda is a friend. We have been cooperating together. How many years now, Saram?
I think it's been since 2015. So.
Yes, he was one of my alumni in the Master of Sustainable Business.
Environmental change and global environmental change.
Yeah. Yes, from the Instituto de Empresa Business School, and after he was one of my trainees with me in this field, and it's incredible how Saram has learned and has improved his capacities in European Union projects with the Nobel Grid project. Do you remember? And now, for me, it's a pleasure that how Saram is coordinating this project with Sami. Thank you very much for your open mind and Sami understanding the synergies from the nice green opportunities from different general directions. And you have the floor, Saram.
Thank you very much, Juan Manuel. I was wondering if Oriol, in the end, because he was having some trouble connecting, if in the end he was going to say a few words from the Text4, because before I started going into details about the open call, Oriol, because he was going to represent Text4, which is very important for us as a partner because they represent all the SME sector in the textile industry in Spain.
In Sabadell, that is one of the areas with more textile.
Exactly, yeah. But actually he's, yeah, go ahead, Juan.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Sharam.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Oriol and I'm a junior at the European Projects and Sustainability Departments at Text4. As has been said, Text4 is a textile confederation of the textile industry in Spain, and we are based in Catalonia, in a small town close to Barcelona, which is called Sabadell. And today, Text4 is the main Spanish textile industry association with around 400 textile companies from the whole value chain for the apparel industry, and then for home textiles, and also for industrial applications. And within the organization, we have 2 technological centers and around 30 service providers, and most of these organizations are based in Catalonia. Regarding our paper in CircularInnoBooster, we felt very aligned with this project because of the sustainable approach that it was proposing. We and our associates, we believe that the strategic positioning that Spanish textile companies must adopt happens with sustainability, which is one of the reasons why we ended up creating this sustainability department at Text4 a few years ago. And since then, we've been trying to be in the vanguard of the sustainable initiatives in Spain and also in Europe by joining projects such as CircularInnoBooster and CirCoAX, and also Stand Up, and maybe also becoming partners of the group of the United Nations for decarbonization, which is called FICA. And this is all from my side. I'm very glad to be here today. And I want first to encourage the participants to join the project. And secondly, also thank our partners' work so far. So yeah, that's basically it. And Sharam, the floor is yours also. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oriol. Yes, so yes, I'm Sharam from Human Nation, but the important role here is as a coordinator of the project. Working with Paloma's team from the Circular project, we kind of came across this opportunity. And in fact, at the time when we're looking at building a consortium, you know, of course, the Textile Confederation of Textile Industry is very important to represent the industry. Paloma's team, of course, represents the designers and the actual people working to make something artistic and creative and very much sustainable in a transparent way. So Paloma's approach with the Circular project is to give transparency to this circular value chain all the way through to the final product. So that was also a very much core part of this project. Instituto Europeo de Design, which is of course leading this project. For them, it's, as Jose Francisco was saying, it's a core part of their strategy. The fashion and textile sector, it's a very important sector. And we know that Italy and Spain have also been leading in Europe, you know, in the traditional textile industry in the past, but now, of course, still leading, but the production has been delocalized. So I think altogether, you know, we're very thankful also for Finnova to organize this event, because the partnership with Finnova is very important in terms of the communication and dissemination, but also for strategic alliances, to build new partnerships, to be able to get opportunities, as Juan Manuel was saying, into other programs as well, because Finnova is also working across other programs, which I also support. So just to put people, I mean, first of all, apologies also from my side for the delay, because I know some people who are applying directly here in the call is to know specifically about the open call. So to put it into context, this is part of a wider open, day that was organized by Finnova. So today now we're going to talk about specifically the open call for the CircularInnoBooster project, which is to launch the platform called CirCoAX. So I will share with you my screen, but it's important also to put into context that with the support of Finnova, we can align with other programs as well that was mentioned earlier, like the LIFE program, and we'll talk about that. I'm just going to share my screen now, but what I would, if I can see which screen to select first, I think it's this one. So just tell me if you're seeing my screen. Yes, now? Okay, good. So here we have about the CircularInnoBooster. Of course, it's already been mentioned as the focused on fashion and textile sector. It's a COSME program project that was awarded to support 30 SME partnerships. So we have 2 years to execute the program, and this has been co-financed by the European Commission, the COSME program, which had a total budget of 1,128,000. So we can see that the partnerships, as it was explained, Jose Francisco already explained the Instituto Europeo de Design and the important role they have being present in several cities in Italy, Milan, Rome, and 5 other Italian cities, Madrid, Barcelona in Spain, and also in Bilbao in the Basque Country, but also in Brazil, in Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. So they're actually present internationally. And also for them, of course, as we say, it's a strategic program. Text4, that was mentioned by Oriol, is representing the industry side. Our partnership with Circular Project, being the leading organization in Spain to support and represent the designers that are authentically and radically trying to transform the fashion and textile sector in a transparent way throughout the life cycle, and also very much have decarbonization also within their agenda, within the priorities. So this is a complete approach of circular economy that is very important to this project. CircuLab from France, who have excellent techniques and tools and methods to run workshops to be able to define circular business models and assess the entire value chain. And they'll be facilitating some very interesting workshops to be able to assess the businesses. And you'll be able to also see the work they do on their website. And Finnova, of course, as you know, is the communication and dissemination partner, but also the advocacy and replication support to be able to extend the project ambitions to, on the European level, together with Instituto Europeo de Design and the other partners. Text4 is also very present at European level. So although they support the Spanish industry, they are very connected to the European institutions, especially Euratext in Brussels. And they're also connected to the sister organizations in other countries that do the similar role of having the Confederation of Textile in their industries, for example, in Italy and in Greece, as well as the other EU countries. So in terms of the program itself that you would be applying for, so we are very thankful that you're interested in applying to this program, but we want to tell you more about what benefits you get, because I totally agree. I mean, the 12,000 euros is just some financial support to pay for some travel costs, for some costs while you're doing the program, some materials, some very simple prototyping. But the important thing is actually the support we want to give, because CirCoAX that will be delivered by the CircularInnoBooster project is to develop an ecosystem that thinks differently about designing from the whole value chain, from the raw material to the final product and end of life of these products, and the way we consume and the way we produce in the fashion and textile industry. So we try and cover a very 360-degree approach, let's say, that also very much includes, of course, decarbonization, because carbon emission is one of the wastes that we produce in the whole life cycle. So the circular economy includes emission of carbon. So it's very much part of our approach to value projects that look at the whole life cycle. So we want to transform the business industry. We want to create an ecosystem that these 30 transnational partnerships can work together and even make bigger projects, as Juan Manuel was explaining. So not only what we're supporting as mentorship and all the support to get their project off the ground, but also make alliances to make even bigger, more ambitious projects. So that will be part of the program. The program is 8 months as a support program. And then, of course, it has the financial support, but also the technical and networking support. So the total budget we have is 360,000 to distribute to the 30 projects, and that explains the 12,000 per project. And that will be funded at 100%. So you don't have to put any money to co-finance, let's say, that 12,000. Of course, if you want to boost your project with your own funds as well, that would be very welcome. What's important also is that we are not only looking at, let's say, the physical hands-on makers and designers, which is very important. Of course, the industry players are very important, but also because of this 360-degree approach, we are very interested in education and communication projects as well. We're also very interested in communities and platforms that want to transform the industry, because as it was mentioned very well by Luca, Luca Marmo at the beginning, the challenge of the industry is the amount of waste we are producing. And a lot of it is because of the way we are buying, the way we are consuming the fast fashion, the low quality products that stay in our cupboard for a very short time, or what they say is 30% only of the cupboards, the wardrobes we use. The rest of the 70% is just sitting there or waiting to be disposed of. So it's the way we consume, and also the material, the choices we make when we buy low quality or very fast fashion products that don't take into account all these values that we're trying to build into the industry. So we are also looking at, of course, SMEs to lead. So the designers, makers, and all these players can partnership, because this is SME partnership. That means the 30 projects that we select have to be led by one SME and one other partner from a different European country, from either an education institute, a public body, another SME, a research institute. So Sami will go more into detail about the eligibility criteria. Important to have the key dates in mind. So the call is now open since last week. You can actually go and apply. But of course, we urge you to understand very well the call application details, and also any questions you have. And what we want to transmit to you today is the philosophy also and the values behind the project. We want any disruptive innovation project that has an ambition, even if it's a concept. So we don't have a minimum, let's say, technology readiness level or a business readiness level, but we want an ambitious concept that wants to make a change even at the local level in partnership with another organization. So this is basically the date for the cutoff where you will have to make the application. The deadline is October 13th. It's a Wednesday after summer. So this October 13th, we expect all the applications to come in by 5 p.m., which is the standard European time, as Juanma was saying. And after that, we can't accept any more applications. So you have between now and October 13th to apply. The announcement of the awarded projects we expect by the end of December. So we would have made a selection of 30 SME partnerships by the end of December of this year. We expect the start date of the program to be March. So why is that 3 months after December? Because we need 3 months to organize all the paperwork and sign the grant agreement and make sure we have the partnership agreements and everything in place for you to start your project. And so this is important about the support program we offer. So the 12,000 euros, as we said, is just part of the financing to support your costs. But the program, which is offered by CircularInnoBooster, this CirCoAX program, is 8 months long and offers a mentorship in a general regenerative approach. So we want to support you in designing a business idea, a business concept with a market intention to go to market that has this regenerative approach to circular and sustainable design. And as we said, the decarbonization is also important. We offer workshops and training in terms of best practices to assess the entire value chain. So we will look at your entire business model, your whole value chain from a life cycle perspective, and that will also be part of the program. And Instituto Europeo de Design, Finnova, Textile, a circular project with Human Nation, and also CircuLab that we mentioned, all offer mentors that will provide general workshops, but also tailored workshops that are very specific to your project's technical and circular needs. So not only you will receive general workshops, but you will also have specific workshops for your project. What we are trying to look at is for your project, as we said, to get to market, but also we want to make new alliances to make your project grow and become something maybe even bigger than you might have thought of in terms of impact. So additional support activities to get there would be matchmaking events, activities like participate in the Madrid Circular and Sustainable Fashion Week. So although, sorry, this presentation still says Madrid Fashion Week, but for us, the Madrid Fashion Week is not the standard fashion week, which is been going on for a long time, as you know, like the London or Paris fashion show. But this is the alternative fashion week, which the Circular project has been leading for. It's been on its second year, and now it will be the third year where you will participate. It's what we call it's a circular and sustainable fashion week. It's a very different approach to showing and demonstrating the products, at the end of the line, that are made by designers compared to the, let's say, the traditional way of doing it. So there will also be events and conferences and summits you'll be invited to. You will be part of a community. And as we said, we want to make an ecosystem that is a community working together to support the transition of the fashion and textile sector. So I would like to pass it now to Sami from also the team that's managing the details of the open call. She'll be presenting you some of the eligibility criteria. I will stop sharing now. Sami, are you okay to share your screen, or you want me to?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Aaron. If you can just, yeah, thank you. So I can share my screen. Thank you, everybody, for being here and for your interest in CircularInnoBooster Open Call. I would now continue about the eligibility of the teams. Before I head down to, can you see the screen?
Can you make the screen maximized in the presentation view so that I can see the whole screen? If it can be done, just the present view, I think.
It's not working. So you... Is it working for you? Yeah, perfect. Sorry about that. Yes, so before I head down to the eligibility criteria of the open call, I would like to let you know that the recording will be available on our website. So if anytime you have any hesitations or doubts, you can always refer back to the recording of the session. We also have the recording of the info day 1 available on the website of CircularInnoBooster. And as well, if you don't mind, send your questions throughout the whole session. So at the end of the session, we could answer your questions. Now down to the eligibility criteria for the applicants. We would require you to be an SME. So the lead applicant has to be an SME, and this SME has already defined, has a particular definition by the European Commission. We will share you the link later on, so you will be getting familiar with this SME definition. Applicants must be legal entities of one of the entities listed below, which for sure they could be startups, they could be designers, they can come from a non-profit organization, whether it's public or private. They can be from non-governmental organizations, they can be from European umbrella organizations, and the list is available for you as part of the open call document, also available on our website. You could go down to all the entities that are eligible within our open call. For the question about the which countries are eligible, I saw that Marielle had already asked a question. I hope that this is going to answer your question, Marielle. So the countries that are eligible in the open call are all the EU member states, as well as COSME program participant countries, and also the UK. For the partnerships, so as you know, you need to be a partnership of minimum 2 entities to be eligible for the CircularInnoBooster open call. And the maximum entity accepted is 5. So either you're 2 partners or maximum of 5 partners. And the lead applicant has to be the SME, as discussed in this previous discussion and slide. Participants and the partnership have to be transnational, and they have to come from a minimum of 2 eligible countries. That is mentioned on our open call document, also available on our website. Partnerships need to sign up the partnership agreement. The template is already available on our website. You can go through it, read it, review it. If any questions, you can get back to us. And this partnership agreement needs to be signed and returned as part of the application package. What we need from the project proposals is that they need to be submitted online through CircularInnoBooster call page, and we cannot accept any other means of application. So emails, for example, you cannot email your application to us, and we need you to go through the CircularInnoBooster call page and press the apply button and follow the procedures from there. Also, the project proposals must be written in English, and the only language we accept is English. And you need to fulfill all the parts of the submission package, including part A, which is which I'm going to discuss in the next slide, all available for you to review before you apply. And also once you apply, it's going to be the same template as an online format.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The submission procedure, sorry?
Yes.
Okay. The submission procedure is, as I mentioned before, you need to go to the CircularInnoBooster online application form, which is on the website, on the open call page, and apply from there. Application period ends on Wednesday, October 13th, and the cutoff time is at 5 p.m. Central European time. Once you submit and fulfill your application, to the end, you will receive an acknowledgement email. In case you didn't receive this email within the next 24 hours, we highly require you to send us an email in the support email, info@circuax.eu, which is going to be mentioned in the next slide and is also available on our website. The application package that we require you to fill in is the administrative part, which is an administrative form asking for the basic information of the organization, the partnerships, and for the contact information, and very basic information regarding your project. And this part, which we call it Part A, we also ask you to do a financial declaration, which is attestation to the fact that you as the entity, as the SME, as the lead SME, and also your partnerships, you don't have, you're not facing any kind of bankruptcy, and your finances are fully sane and safe. The next part will be the technical application form, which here in this form, we will require you to fill in more technical information about the project that you're trying or the innovation that you're trying to offer us. And there will be more questions about the kind of business plan you are thinking about and you have planned, and more details on the team. The annex one will include the declaration of honor, which needs to be formed. Which need to be signed and fill in, and as well as the partnership agreement. So with each partners, you need to fill in this partnership agreement and attach it to the online application form. In this package, we also require you to do a video pitch. This video pitch is a 3 minutes video pitch that allows us to get more in touch with you and to feel your passion and your whys of this project, why you want to start this sustainable, circular and regenerative project in the fashion and textile sector. We don't need it to be very formal, it has to be very simple. You don't need to go through the technicalities. You can even with your phone, you can record this with your phone, and some instruction is available on our website, so you can get more familiarized how to do the simple videos for this purpose. We really advise you to read the reference documents in the reference documents to read section of the website. This consists of open call documents, the application package documents, model grant agreements, and also we have a applicant's guideline to guide you through the whole procedure. The evaluation of the proposals will be done by a steering group or steering committee, and it will be done in 2 phases of selection procedure. In the phase 1, we will review and check your and do the assessment. We run the assessment, we check your eligibility, which is going to be done by the partners, and we check for the quality assessment, which we look for the 3 main criteria of excellence, impact, and implementation. The details are all written in the document that I referred previously, and we highly advise you to read it carefully. In the phase once we did the phase 1 review and assessment, shortlist 40 projects. Shortlisted projects will receive an invitation to an interview, which we assume that is going to be by November 2021. And during this interview, this interview will be done in 2 parts. The first part will be 3 questions asked from the project team, and this will take 10 minutes. And these 3 questions will be available to you prior to the interview, so you can make yourself ready and come to the interview with full readiness. And on the second part, we will ask the shortlisted entities to run an open pitch of 10 minutes, where you can freely discuss and pitch your project with a full floor in your hands. Invitation letters will be sent out by December. Signature of the grant agreement will take about 2 months, from January to February, and program will start by March 2022. For the accepted 30 SMEs, the payment terms and stages will be as follow. There will be an initial payment upon the start of the project. This amount is 30%, 12,000 that was mentioned before. By the month 6 of the project, an additional 30% will be paid to the SMEs. And upon finishing the project and the completion, we will pay the remaining 40%. As for the reporting requirements and the deliverables that we would need you to submit to us by the 3rd month of the program, we will do a two-way interview to have this discussion with you to see how the project is going. If you have any questions, if you have any special requirements out of the program that we already offered you. So this is the purpose of this interview. And in 4th month, we will have this interim technical and financial report that you need to submit to us, and a final technical and financial report at the end of the program on month 8. And for this, you can, it is mentioned also in the model grant agreement. When you sign, you need to abide by all these requirements on your side. There will be another info day on Wednesday, September 15th at the same time as today. So whoever didn't make it to this, or your friends or your colleagues, they can also join us on this info day. We are already providing you with the expert support, 24 hours expert support, and you can email us to info@CircularInnoBooster.eu. And any questions, you can send us as well after this info day. Also, on the frequently asked questions section of our website, you will see that regularly we will update this section with the questions that we have already received. And also, it's a very good point to have a look at this section and keep your eyes on this section. It might answer one of your questions. Thank you so much for your time and interest. And now we can go to the Q&A section of this session.
No, sorry, Sami. First, I have a question for you. What do you think about the synergies with this live program today? Sami?
Sorry, could you repeat again?
Yes.
Yes.
Today we have done this effort with the European Commission. I want to highlight the importance of that content in the mentoring for that companies in the life. What do you think about, with your open mind, what do you think about the synergies of these projects from different DGs? Because I appreciate a lot this civil servant from the DG environment. What do you think, Sami?
The synergies between the LIFE program or, or you mean the COSME?
No,
COSME programs that is already been offered.
I'm highlighting about the content of the mentoring for the 30 projects that we will select.
I can
open call.
If you want, Sami, if you want, I can take that one. If you want, it's up to you. How are you?
I mean, I still didn't understand the question. So if you want, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I think it's as I was explaining, Juan Manuel. I think this is something that when we were designing the program from the beginning, it was very important to look at opportunities to collaborate in other collaborative projects. So, for example, the 30 SMEs, the partnerships that will already apply, they will give us visibility of the best projects, but even the ones that apply that maybe don't get through. So there might be, let's say, X number of applicants, only 30 selected, but we will still get visibility of these great projects. And we'll be able to have access and their contact details, of course, to reach out to them upon their consent, that we could find those projects specifically interesting. But within the program itself, the 30 projects that we're supporting, part of the mentorship that we're offering together with yourself, with Finnova, of course, is to look at what synergies they have with other entities like municipalities, like corporations that might be participating, other SMEs, other institutions, technology institutes, whatever, that we can make new consortiums to apply for further funding that could be up to 1 million, 3 million, 5 million, depending on the size of the project, and depending on the kind of applicants that are going to be applying, if they're technological, if there might be even a community platform that support in the communication, or if it's an education project, we could do an Erasmus Plus project, where we can develop a course together, to develop within the Erasmus Plus program, or Interreg, that you guys work a lot as well with interregional collaboration in Europe. So there is a lot of synergies with other European programs. So this specific COSME program is to specifically support the SMEs, but it gives us access to a platform and collaboration to then potentially create new synergies, both in the public and private sector. So I think that's the kind of, yeah, I mean, that's very much designed into the program.
Yes. What I mean, and simplifying this, 12,000 euros for each small and medium enterprise is not a lot to launch a company, but of course it helps. But our vision and our challenge is how to try to make sure these startups to try to transform from the CircularInnoBooster in new projects that really accelerate that circular in the fashion sector in this project. And it will be a nice objective at the end of the CircularInnoBooster project.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, Juan Manuel, one of the other things that recently came through is this program is now participating in the Climate Kick, as you know, the Climate Accelerator community. So that also shows our commitment to decarbonization, to build it in. So the Climate Kick community is another extension of this whole community we're building. So now we have access to, which we already have through the network, but now officially the project has been accepted as part of the Climate Accelerator program. So this is all part of the alliance building that we hope to support the SMEs.
Perfect. Then we should be ambitious. Then we pretend to select the best small and medium enterprises in this call. And at the end of the day, we hope not that 30 companies does not receive just 12,000 euros in mentoring, but through that mentoring to try to transform the 30 projects in, why not, European Innovation Council accelerator programs that Salam also knows very well, and it will be included in that mentoring. Anyway,
sorry, Juan Manuel, it's a very good point, because I think what you're talking about is also some of the top-end technological projects. But at the same time, when we said from the beginning that this is very open call, in the sense that we don't have a minimum technology readiness, because sometimes we don't want to scare away, very early stage concept projects by an entrepreneur who's a local entrepreneur who has a great idea, but maybe it's very initial stage, because we can potentially, look at alliances and synergies to boost that project if it's a very good idea. So don't be shy to come forward if it's not a technological, because we're not tech obsessed and tech focused.
Of course,
that's part of the solution, but tech is not the only solution.
No, and of
That
course,
answers
for
the question. Oh, sorry.
There are some questions in the chat.
Okay, so we can go to Q&A when you're ready.
Yes.
I just linked it to the question.
Sorry, Sami. 1 second, Sami. Of course, it was just an example for innovative companies, but for the early stage, there are other programs like Erasmus Entrepreneurship, and for the social innovation, we have other programs under Innovative European Social Fund. About the questions, we are going
to... It's a very good question here about partnership, if you want. Okay.
Of course, no. And of course, why not to connect that 30 companies and they could work with corporates learning and through other programs like Erasmus Entrepreneurs. Anyway, congratulations, Sami. I think is for your position and for being open-minded in this this first project you are coordinated. Anyway, I'm going to open the question and answer session. Please, question from the audience. Carmen, could you switch off your mobile, please, your phone, please?
Yeah, the tech person can
Just to connect this discussion that we had with the question from Cosmin that was asked if a minimum TRL or minimum project readiness needs to be have in order to submit to part in the open call. No, we don't ask for any. You can also come with idea, but of course you need to have worked on your project idea in order to fill in the questionnaire. Otherwise, you cannot in the questionnaire. So it's a concrete project idea that you have already worked, and you see in the questionnaires on the forms that what if you are able to answer those questions, then of course with all the pleasure we would need you to participate here.
Okay, thank you very much, Sami. Juan Manuel, we have some questions as well.
To the next question.
Yeah, the line is breaking a little bit, Sami, but
yes, I don't know if you have some problems with connection.
We don't hear you very well, Sami.
I mean, perhaps if you switch off your camera, we can listen to better.
Yeah, yeah.
You have
but anyway, it's yeah, it seems to be at the moment. But we heard everything that was said, I think, until now. So if anything else, though, I think regarding the questions that are coming through, and Sami, now that you have your camera off, feel free to answer any of the questions. We are basically, one of the questions I think is quite interesting is if we could confirm if it's necessary to come as a partnership. So yes, as Sami was explaining, one of the requirements for eligibility in this program is to apply as a partnership. And the minimum is 2 and maximum 5. So the recording is also available. Of course, we will also share with you the presentation. And on the website, all the details for the eligibility are available. So yes, you need a partnership agreement. As Maria is asking, hi Maria. So we do. Do you want to have any other clarification, Maria?
No, I'm sorry. Hello, thank you.
Hi.
But it's still not clear to me because, for instance, I have a brand, and if I want to apply, in order to apply, I had to get to an agreement before applying. That's what not.
Yeah,
not
I think
clear to me.
One of the requirements of this program from the beginning, and this is a requirement of the COSME initiative, you know, the COSME program, is that they wanted SMEs to create partnerships with other entities in Europe. So it has to be at least one other entity. And as Sami was explaining, that entity can be another SME, or it could be a technology institute, a university, it could be a public body, it could be you know, association, another platform, any kind of legal entity.
But the 12K will come only to me or to both of us.
Yes, but you can share the cost. You can, what you can do is you would be the lead SME, so you would be the main applicant. You will receive the money, but if part of your cost, for example, is to travel with this other partner member, one of the members or staff of the other partner, that would be an eligible cost. Or if this other partner has to process some material or has to do some work on your project to make your project happen in these 8 months until the closing time, you can justify those costs.
Yeah, but for instance, another question I had, yeah, but for instance, does it have to be, so you say, if it's only 2 partners, like one partnership between 2 companies,
that's enough.
It has to be from another country. So for instance, I have a partnership here in Spain with a Naturalista. We are working together. Will that be okay, or it has to be from another country?
So I give you one example. I mean, because the minimum requirement is 2 partnerships, and it has to be at least 1 transnational partnership. So it has to be 1 from another country. Then if you have 3 partners, in your case, for example, you could have the Spanish partner as your main partner, and you might have an association in somewhere in Brussels or somewhere else, for example, that helps you disseminate the information or helps you with your idea in some way, you know? So you could have them as another partner.
Just as a question, I have a partnership with a fashion sharing platform in Netherlands.
Absolutely.
So to me, fashion sharing is something that we are promoting. So we send them bags and they share. So will that work, for instance, like fashion sharing?
Partner. Perfect.
Okay.
Maria, congratulations.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Exactly. So this shows that you're collaborating at the European level, that you're also even making an effort or initiative to collaborate, even if people are not already collaborating. This call is to incentivize them to pick up the phone or send an email and say, I would like you to collaborate with us in this project. So it also shows initiative to collaborate at European level.
So for instance, in that case, I can contact, so I could do El Naturalista, which is Spanish, and I'm sure they will be happy, and they are great because they've been working for many years in sustainable fashion. For instance, this platform in the Netherlands, and I got another one in the UK. So we could be 4, for instance. But it will be only me applying, or they can apply as well for the 12K. Or we can only share, as you say, the traveling expenses.
Okay, so the lead applicant has to be SME, and the same SME can't be the lead applicant twice. So there's certain criteria, like, or some of the legal details that you will be able to, but of course, all these questions we can answer, and they're very good questions. So for example, the same lead SME that's applying can't receive the funding twice. But that lead SME could be, for example, a partner in another project where it's supporting the other project, but it's not the main one receiving the funding. In the same way, as it was explained before, is that this project is one of 4 other COSME programs selected. So for example, one of the other requirements that was agreed at the COSME level is that if you apply for S4 Fashion, for example, which is another project, so this is called CircularInnoBooster, the other one is called S4 Fashion, or the other one is called Fashion for Change. So if you apply for the different one, or small but perfect, you know, so these are the 4 projects. So if you apply for that one, you have to choose which one you select finally. So if they, let's say 2 of them accept you, you can't get double funding, because that would be essentially getting double funding, which is not allowed. Unless you have a very different concept of a project idea. So if you have 2 very different concepts that there's no overlap, you could do that in different programs. So these are, I'm trying to not confuse you, but okay. So,
no, sorry, it's a bit
okay. So within this program, within this project that you're applying, this particular one that you're applying, you can only apply as a lead SME once. You can't apply twice. That's the simple answer.
And with that, Saram, you are answering also another question from Mariel. So,
yes, but Maria, you cannot compete with yourself in the same call. It's not logical, right? But you could be the consortium supporting. But what is quite important is, as Saram explained, the lead has to be an small and medium enterprise or an independent, no?
Okay. So for instance, let's just see these examples that to me is clear, because I'm working on circularity, but in many areas, not only recycling, but durability, fashion sharing, second hand, like I'm working 360 degrees. So to me, the easiest way probably will be with this platform, like fashion sharing platform. So I will be the one applying, and she will be my partner, but she won't get any funds, no?
And Maria,
if I understand
also,
it well.
Also, if you want, after this info day, we could talk with you,
that would be
Sarah,
great.
or I, and we could speak, discuss it in Spanish, so maybe it's easier to...
No, I have no problem with the English. I have a problem with the program,
the details,
because I find it a bit complicated. I mean, as you say, 12,000 euro, I mean, for the amount of work is not a lot, no? And I am really interested in, but I find it a bit
the 12,000 euros is in fact, you know, I think if people are only applying for the 12,000 euros, I mean, in fact, with most programs, only applying for the money is not usually the objective. The objective is to develop a project and to make alliances and to take your project to market, and the money is to support that. So this is only to pay for costs and for some materials, some prototyping. It's not to develop your project. The idea is this program is to also give you a platform to accelerate your project, which includes access to further funding, assessment of your financial needs, you're developing your business models, and all those things as well.
No, it sounds great. Thank you very much. I'm sorry to take your time.
Visibility also, Maria.
Thank you.
To have that logo and that visibility.
Okay, thank you very much. No, it sounds very exciting. It sounds very exciting. Thank you.
For everybody to know that if someone has more questions, they would also contact us, and we could attend you in French, Spanish, or English. So no problem with the language. Okay.
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 More questions?
The other question, Sammy, if you want to clarify on the other question about if they're applying from different programs to different programs, because we have 4 COSME projects. One is Fashion for Change, the other one is S for Fashion, and we also have Small But Perfect. So they all got their own programs running at the same time, as well as this CirCoAX platform that we're developing. So what happens if they want to apply to 2 or 3 of the programs at the same time? Are you okay to answer that?
Yes, I can answer that question, and it's also going to answer Mario's question regarding that if one company can register with more than one project. So if you're applying, you are allowed to apply under 2 conditions. The first condition is that your project proposal has to be totally different than the one that you have applied in the other projects. And the second condition is that the lead SME has to be different. So if, for example, the lead SME name is X in the first project, so second project has the lead SME has to be Y, you know, so the lead SME and the partnership has to be different. So these are the 2 conditions, and of course you can apply with more than one project, and you can apply in all our counterparts, which are S for Fashion, Small But Perfect, and Fashion for Change.
I think this is also, as Marielle, hi, you're here. There's a bit of some of us, we know each other from the community, but also Maria's question is related. So from what Sammy said, thank you for that, is that to take your example, Maria, if you're working in different areas of the value chain or different concepts, it's a very good example, because you could apply as the lead SME for the one that you want to be the more leading role. And in the other one where you're supporting or you want to develop, one of your partners can apply if they are SME, if they qualify as SME, which has its own, as Sami was explaining, there is a qualification criteria of what is a PYME, you know, SME, like in Spanish, of course, is PYME. So that could be a autonomo, a professional as well. So SME doesn't mean you have to be a limited company, SL. You can also be just a professional with a tax code, which would be in Spanish is autónomo. So yeah, as long as you're registered. So the answer is basically that the other SME can apply for your concept, and you can be a supporting of that project. Of course, you have to justify the role of each partner. So if a partner has a very small role and is acting as the lead applicant, it will look, let's say, not very convincing for the evaluators, because they will say, well, why is this company the lead applicant, but they're actually getting a very small role? I just give you one example of a case where some, you know, maybe an SME is indirectly applying, you know, so that would be something that would come across to us. We don't want that. What we want is the other SME to benefit from this program as well. But I think that, I mean, I'm just making some technical difference, but in reality is that if you're partnering with somebody else and they can apply and you can apply separately, and it means the project can go forward, then it's no problem at all.
Very good.
It's a bit complex, I know, but we are here, as Adrian was saying, and Sami is within the team to answer all the questions by email, you know, and even if you want to give us your phone number, we can WhatsApp or whatever, but you know, we are available until October to receive the applications. So in fact, we're using Signal now and not WhatsApp, because we're using European companies for messaging, but that's another point.
May I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Yes, please.
So just before applying, there is no problem talking to you, no? Like just to double check that what we are presenting is...
Yes, no problem.
Makes sense.
Questions and answers are always welcome. Yeah, I mean, we're here to support your application.
Thank you very much. Indeed.
More questions?
Just looking at
comments.
There is a question regarding if the 8 months mentoring program will be full-time, if it is compatible with their job. Laura is asking this.
Of course, it's
Yes.
of course,
Of course, of course.
because we want that with 12,000 euros. Come on, it cannot be a full-time job, and what we want is realistic and practical projects that are successful. Is what we are looking for. More questions?
Yeah. So yes, I mean, we have some general program objectives like workshops that we hope you can attend, because there are some minimum requirements. So if you have a job, let's say, that doesn't allow you to participate in workshops in working hours, because, you know, we can't have all the workshops in the evening, because we also have, you know, the workshops tend to be in the working time. So let's say that could be a restriction. So it's something to consider in your application, because you might not be able to participate in the critical workshops. But regarding the more tailored workshops, we would work around it to try and fit with your schedule. You know, we would try and find the right time. But generally speaking, the program is in the working hours. So it's just something to take into account.
Okay.
Is any other question? Do you see, Juan Manuel?
No, there is no more questions.
Okay, there's only some general questions we had from the Q&A. If like it was said, if your company is an SME, that's important criteria. So please check the SME link that's on the website to check within the application form to see if you qualify according to European Commission definition of what is an SME. And we can also put that in the chat right now, so you can see it. So that's one. And a self-employed, as we said, a natural person with a tax number can also be considered SME. And
okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. We are going to finish because we will be available. As you know, you can do all the questions you have, and what we want is the best projects to be submitted. And please help us, all of you. And I want to thank all of you, because from the IT team, they say in this session we have had around 102 connections, different connections during the different during this hour, and this near 2 hours, we are talking of from Spain 84 connections, Italy 6, Colombia 4, Belgium 1, Slovenia 1, Poland 1, United States 3, Netherlands 1, and Nicaragua 1. And it will be very practical for the report of the CirCoAX. But anyway, we are now on time, and what I want is to connect now with Turkey. I don't know, where are you? In Istanbul or in Ankara? Where are you?
No, I'm currently in Bodrum. It is more like a summer side near Greek islands. So living my life.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. This project that you are going to listen is one of the 4 pilot projects that has been approved with our CirCoAX. And we think that synergies and exchanging information always is a must for the startup, thinking in our client, that is the startup or people like Maria Cano. You have the floor. You are going to explain the project, and also we would like to understand how, if we have inspired to you, and what do you think, and how do you find potential synergies between all these projects and other new open calls, as this live call that because we are today in the second info day of CirCoAX, that is into a info day of live networking during all the day from 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, you have the floor.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Güne Gergör, Marcom Manager of Data Scouts and proud partner of As4 Fashion project, another Cosme project, and boosting cooperation for sustainable fashion with our digital peer-to-peer platform. And yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity, of course, and thank you for sharing those great information with us. I totally believe that we should, all COSME programs should support each other because we are working for one reason, one goal, and we should definitely. Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
I think there is some problems with the.
Can you hear me now?
It was okay. It's okay.
We don't listen to you.
Yeah, we hear.
Oh, okay.
Then
okay.
You have to
Go
start,
ahead.
but I don't listen to you.
Oh no.
It's me, Adrian. Do you listen?
I think it's you. I think it's you, Homo. Because I can't hear. We can't hear Gun. Yep.
Okay,
Should I
now.
continue?
Okay.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And yeah, another thanks to European Commission, of course, for their new circular economy action plan to make our economy suitable for a green future, for a greener future, including textiles and fashions now. And maybe I can share my screen to show you some quick presentation. Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the project itself, we are empowering small, medium-sized enterprises to introduce new sustainable and circular processes for fashion industry. And it is 3-year life cycle, and it will produce new evidence-based knowledge on sustainability and circular fashion, circular economy for the fashion industry, and share its findings with the whole ecosystem of European fashion ecosystem. And we are 5 partners, European Creative Hubs Network from Greece. They are the leading partner. We have Envolve Entrepreneurship, Data Scouts from Belgium. Envolve is also from Greece. IED, you're familiar with them. They're working in this project as well, and they're from Madrid. And also Zip House from Moldova. And the objective of the project is to support, connect, and empower 25 transnational partnerships to work collaboratively for the creation of sustainability solutions for the fashion industry. Interested partnerships will form pilot project ideas in response to S4 Fashion call for proposals. And yeah, those pilot projects will benefit from bespoke program, including mentoring, networking opportunities, and financial support. And beyond those projects, actually, we are trying to create a digital peer-to-peer platform where we can host a larger number of organizations which we can support through the project, actually, project lifecycle, and also training activities. And our vision is, of course, this was our mission, but our vision is influence the European fashion community to change perspectives and redefine the fashion sector, responding to the needs of our time for an ethical, inclusive, and responsible production and consumption. I think this is really important to achieve our goals. And we want to create that space where the whole European fashion ecosystem can innovate, collaborate, share knowledge, matchmake beyond the life cycle of the project. And we would like, yeah, of course, our call for proposals are also open. We would like to select and provide funding and support to 25 transnational partnerships that aims to create a new innovative product or service directly improving the take-up and adoption of sustainability and circularity models and practices, and also business models. And who can apply? SMEs, designers, startups from textiles, clothing, footwear, accessories, leather, and also academic and research centers can apply, but not as lead applicant. Lead partners and partners must be legally established for at least 6 months prior to the date of the application date. And proposals must include at least 2 organizations coming from at least 2 different countries. I think it was the same for CirCoAX, if I'm not wrong. The total number of partners, including the lead partner, must not exceed 5. And those are the things that selected projects will get. It is 1-year tailored coaching program, financial support up to 15,000 euro, access to respected designers and fashion personalities engaged in sustainability and circular fashion, support services, of course, access to shared ecosystem mapping, knowledge base, as for fashion platform, follow-up service and help desk facility. About the access to the shared ecosystem mapping, of course, we are using advanced ecosystem thinking approach to gather everybody and collaborate on the projects that are planned. And deadline is 29th of October. I can share the links with you. You can just go register and fill up your profile and then start matching with the partners actually. And of course, submitting your application form via the platform as well. I can drop the link afterwards. And again, thank you so much. You can follow our social media accounts because we are having weekly matchmaking events as well. And also we will have our call info day, also hybrid events like physical events in Brussels, one in Spain. So you can definitely follow our pages to get informed about those events as well. Again, thank you for CirCoAX for this opportunity, and thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, it's now very late.
Yeah.
We are 7 o'clock in the afternoon. I want to thank all of you, still 41 people connected, for all the speakers that has clarified about this info day of CirCoAX, but also our new friends for our new alliance in this project, like Eurada, and we count on you, Mrs. Escamilla, to spread in your network this call, because we are looking for the best small and medium enterprises. We will keep you informed. We will try to send to you practical information like live, but in the future also for the earliest stage. Quite interesting programs like Erasmus Entrepreneurship that allows to you to have up to 6 months in another country with a company. Why not to do a joint venture or to learn to pricing or whatever in the field of circular economy and social innovation. I want to thank also all the people that has been working hard in this intensive Info Day networking, and this under we have organized this second Info Day in CirCoAX. I'm talking of the people from communication, Lola Bordas, Maria Jose, also Sandra, and all our team in the technical that has been offering that technical support, Eduardo, Daniel, Javier Cortés, the people from marketing. That, and I'm very proud. We have been during all these 2 hours around more than 100 people. That is not bad. And please don't forget that we have a very important challenge, that is circular economy and innovations and social innovation in fashion. Let's work together. You will have information about this Info Day in September, and we will keep you informed in other information and dissemination activities we are going to launch under the next textile generation, and we will count in with WUN and the other 2 projects. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon, and please keep safe with this COVID-19. Good afternoon.